It's your boy Kevin Yee in the house. Today I thought I would just do a regular live Q&A just because there hasn't been that much happening within the R Reddit type of things and all that as well. And just wanted to kind of keep the tradition up of the OG streams. So I know over the last few days, well, over basically today, I spent a lot of time kind of shooting a lot of planned scripted videos for once. So that's that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it was kind of weird just shooting regular YouTube videos again since I've been on the live stream hype. But we already got people in the comment section dropping likes. We got Lemon Doug. Oh yeah. Taste and Travel curiously says, yo, at least another month. Hi Kevin, what's going on? Yeah, dude, I thought I was going to do these streams, by the way, every single day until this whole crisis was over. They were saying like until the end of the month, but man, LA is not looking too hot, man. They're saying it's gonna be the new epicenter of all this mudda BS, bro. So I'm gonna be quarantined a lot longer. I was actually trying, not gonna lie, I was actually looking for weights, dude, so I could keep on training, like doing some sort of kettlebell type of stuff. But all of it, literally all of it, is sold out. It is ridiculous how crazy it is. I was gonna do Tim Ferriss's T like kettlebell thing, but then like, dude, yesterday I was looking at Walmart, I was looking at Target, I was looking at Dick's Sporting Goods. Man, all of them are out of weights for the most part. It's like, fuck, dude, fuck. Lemon Doug says, how's investing? Actually really great, man. So I'm not sure if I told you guys, but actually right before the crash, I actually pulled out not a significant amount of money, but good amount of money just to invest back into the market. Haven't done so quite yet. Really trying to think about the best entry point, or maybe I'll just dollar cost average it back into the market as well. But yeah, that's where I'm in. That's where what I'm doing. Stetson says 1 month quarantine challenge. Man, I don't know. Quarantine is pretty not rough. It's actually been really good for me because I just focus on building out more websites. Bought another domain today. So far, like, let me do a running list of the domains that I recently bought. Let me log into my account really quick. Bought a lot of different domains, guys. Just to make my life easier and all that sort of stuff. And all that. Let me see. Where's my account? Where's my dashboard, y'all? Oh shit, I need to log in. Fuck. Yeah, really creating like fuck, I can't log in. Come on. I think this is my password. Yeah, this is it. So I bought a lot of different, I bought a new one, the weeklyhustle.blog. So that's going to be housing all my housing. I don't think any of these are up, by the way, but that's going to be housing a lot of my emails that I'm going to be sending out to my email list. KevinYee.tv, that has my YouTube. KevinYee.live. I have no idea why I bought that. Bought a few other ones that aren't really relevant too. MyKickassProducts.com. Planning to make that the central site for all the products that I recommend with video recommendations and all that. So I'm building that out right now. So there's a few other ones, but I'll keep those until I have a real purpose for them. I'm not going to mention them quite yet, but really been building out more and more websites, getting really close to finishing up my my Hustle Academy as well. So I'm going to be launching that, helping a few people start their, I want to be super hands-on with that. I want to help people start up their side business, remote income and all that as well. So I just want kick-ass results for that, man. Like, especially with everything that's going on right now, I want people to have the option to be able to leave pharmacy if they wanted to. So that's something I'm working on. That's something I feel very passionate about. Taste and Travel curiously says just closed, but busy more than regular Sunday. Filled 415. Holy shit. How much staff do you have? Taste and Travel. Would love to kind of hear what's going on your end, man. And I'm getting the like trains, bro. This is awesome. It's great to see you. I've missed the videos. Yeah, I actually have like 6 videos like in queue, like on my YouTube. I just haven't scheduled them or anything like that. The hardest part about doing videos, but guys, isn't the shooting. That's the easiest part. It's planning the right content that will hit. Like recently, like I kind of have a good idea what content's gonna hit. It's been kind of demotivating because I'm just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to I don't want to shoot this type of content, but that's the content that gets viewed all the time, which sucks, you know. So it's kind of like balancing what the people want to see versus what you want to create. And then if you're taking it as a business, who gives a fuck that what you want, man? Like people want to see what they want to see. So there's that as well. So yeah, man, like I have a few topics that I believe will hit because I did the research on them, but we'll see. I mean, my product review of my air filter is like doing fairly well right now. So there's that. Was it hard to find a job after graduation, says Ibrahim Osman? Yeah, actually really was hard for me to find a job, and this was in 2013. That was the reason why I actually moved to California, because I couldn't find a job back in my home state of Massachusetts or Boston. And so you gotta realize there's like 3 pharmacy schools in that small state, so it's super saturated. California was as saturated as it is now, especially in the gray area. Like I was like working in Hollywood at one point, you know, and so I was in a prime location. But honestly, it was really tough. It's probably even harder now. I'm hearing stories where people have been looking for 1+ years and they can't find anything. So not quite sure what their approach is or anything like that, but from what it sounds like, it sounds like a lot harder. 2 pharmacists, 2 tech, 2 cashier. Pretty easy though, no problems. Not getting yelled at. Closed for lunch. That's awesome, man. I mean, like getting close for lunch. I know it sounds so stupid, but like getting close for lunch is really a blessing, man. Like, dude, you would not believe how rare that is for a pharmacy to not be closed for lunch. I used to get bothered during my lunch break all the freaking time, like all the time. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, I'm just trying to like fucking eat and shit. Like literally, I remember one time during my lunch break, I was getting interrupted every like 2 minutes, right? To like counsel someone and stuff like that. And I was just like, fuck, dude, like I just want like 5 minutes to myself, man. And I was like, holy shit, it gets frustrating because you're working like 12-hour days and shit, you know, so it's kind of long, sometimes even longer in other states. I don't even have it that bad, to be honest with you, you know. So Hendrix says, just saying hi, keep up the good work, greetings from Germany, see ya. Thanks Hendrix, really appreciate it, man. I always like your videos no matter what the content. You always have a nice personality, always friendly and welcoming. I try to be. I can be an asshole sometimes, not gonna lie though. Andrew, like I don't know, you know, at the end of the day, I just love doing YouTube because I get to freely express how I feel, what's on my mind. Recently I haven't been doing so many like personal development things. It's really interesting, man. It's almost like a video diary of where you are in a certain place in life. If you watch my videos made from 2016, 2017, I was like very personal development heavy, very woo woo. I think in the recent days, I've just been more in the practical space, the practical head space, where I'm just like, dude, I want to make money. I want to make lots of money, not for necessarily for myself, but to be able to impact the world, that the vision that I have. So that's really kind of like what I've been up to recently, you know, and I think you can definitely tell based off my content, you know. So what about job opportunities in Alaska? I have no idea. Dude, it's crazy, man. I was speaking to someone from Alaska recently, wanting to start a business for my client, with my client, and dude, the only thing that they really have up there is like crab fishing. One of my old classmates used to live up in Alaska. I wasn't really that close to him or anything like that. I mean, we actually clashed quite a bit, but I hope he's doing well. But I know he was in Alaska practicing pharmacy up there, so all that. We used to have one pharmacist on Sunday, so we closed for lunch. Now with 2 pharmacists, we still got to do the same schedule. Yeah, but it's great having a partner, bro. Like I think that's a huge thing, man. Having a partner. By the way, speaking about pharmacists, have you been seeing all the Mudda BS with all the like, oh, pharmacists aren't healthcare professionals and stuff? I wasn't sure if it was you, by the way, Taste and Travel. I think it was you. You sent me a DM, but basically they were saying that, like, I think one of y'all asked like, hey, you know how a lot of places are giving like free boba and all that sort of stuff to healthcare professionals? I think one of you guys actually went over there asked to see if pharmacists were included, and they said that they weren't. Was it you? Four pharmacists on weekday. That's pretty busy then. They're probably burning through tons of hours right now. Tons of hours. How much do you normally do on a Sunday, just for reference as well? So I'm like, and here's the thing, man. Script count isn't everything. Like, script count kind of tells you how busy a store is, but it's relative to amount of staff that you have. Because think about it, if you have if you're doing like 110 like by yourself, that's a lot. That's quite a busy day from what I remember, right? But if you have like one tech or something like that, it's a lot easier, man. So 350, okay, gotcha. So it's more. Oh, it is you. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were the boba. I'm not gonna mention your your name or anything like that, but yeah, definitely you were the boba guy, man. So sad today. Ah, man. But anyways, speaking about like what's trending in Reddit pharmacy right now, because I've been really looking at this quite a bit, and seems like this post is trending. And which one? Oh yeah, this one. I was checking this post out earlier. Really interesting, man. I was watching a news report on pharmacists here in Canada, and obviously probably pharmacy is very different in Canada versus like the US, but they're saying apparently it happens more often that pharmacists can make errors in prescriptions sometimes with deadly consequences. Pharmacists are apparently overwhelmed, burnt out a lot, and so they're rushed. Is pharmacy a pretty challenging career? I got to be honest, pharmacists don't seem like they're well respected by the general public or by other doctors, especially during COVID-19. You'll hear people praising doctors, nurses, and even grocery store clerks. But pharmacists seem to be put on the back burner, so to speak. I have a lot of respect for them, but they have a very difficult job. Dude, nothing is more true than that, man. If you are a pharmacist right now and you agree with that statement, with that thing, just hit thumbs up, bro. Like, seriously. 80% is refills in chronic OTC, so it's easy. That's great. But it is true. Pharmacists aren't respected. I wonder why. When did it happen to this? Because I remember there was an article like, "Hey, pharmacists are the most trusted like profession, blah blah blah." But is it what like corporate chains did to us? Where did it all go wrong, guys? I'm just trying to wonder. But people have their responses. Retail is a hellhole. Finally was able to escape just 2 years after a hospital setting. It's amazing, night and day difference. And so it's really crazy, man. How really I don't know. I would say that we're probably higher risk. Like retail pharmacists, community pharmacists are probably higher risk than a lot of the other professions right now. I mean, it really sucks that a lot of pharmacists aren't getting recognition and stuff. But there was that one article that was trending too on Reddit Pharmacy where there were like, hold on, let me go back. Oh fuck. Let's see. This guy, when pharmacy gets a shout out, when this person shouted people out. And people, it's so rare. I'm not gonna lie, it's so rare that when people do get shouted out and stuff like that too, man. I wish it happened more often as well. But interesting stuff, guys. Let's see. There was one thing that I thought was an interesting article on Reddit too, that is probably non-pharmacy related, but more I guess business related. Toward the, because I know I've been talking about pharmacy quite a bit. But anyways, Andrew has a comment. I am not a pharmacist, but I have seen firsthand the crap that the pharmacy community is thrown. It's disgusting. Pharmacists are doctors. They deserve the same respect as the MDs, DOs, and nurses, man. That is, man. It's crazy, man. Like, I agree with, well, obviously, because I'm biased and I'm a pharmacist, and I was that position, but oftentimes we're thrown a lot of crap, and that's it's just the poor positioning of the pharmacy profession, right? When you're like in a normal everyday community and whatnot, like people will just treat you. when you go into think about the experience, right? Let's think about this as a marketing, and maybe this is a good marketing experience, right? Lesson, right? Where okay, you're going into a drugstore to pick up freaking makeup, to pick up some chips, maybe some like fucking toilet paper, maybe if people didn't buy it all, and then you're gonna go pick up your medications. Wow, does that really scream professional environment? Not really, to be honest with you. When you're at your doctor's office, typically it's at some sort of medical center. They don't have like freaking chips and makeup and all this other non-health related stuff. When you have all this when you have a bunch of stuff like that and the environment isn't very catering to our professional environment, that's what's going to happen. So it's kind of like, poor positioning from the start. But also pharmacy roles have changed throughout the years as well too. Right before, when we were, if you look at the OG pharmacists, like they were serving like soda at the freaking fountain. You'd go for a soda to during the 50s and stuff. I think, I don't know. That's what I heard. Right, the old Woolworths and all that sort of stuff. You can go there and grab a drink really quick, right? And that's what people will go over there for, not their medication. So it's really a huge societal and like a huge pivot from that as well. So there's that. Also, on Reddit, I was actually looking at the whole side hustle world, financial independence. This is did I join this? Actually, I did not. Maybe it's on my other account, but basically, there was this really interesting post that I was lurking because I was looking at different side hustles, how people are making their side hustles, and it's really interesting. This guy, the most upranked post, upvoted post, was saying model trains. He's painting, weathering, adding electronics to them. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy how people can make an income based off of that, man. And I'm not saying that you should do something like this, but it is like I've been taking a few marketing courses, and it's really kind of reminded me. He has a little e-commerce thing too, but it's really reminded me of like how sometimes the simplest ideas can still make a lot of money. It is ridiculous, right? And here's an interesting service too. This other person started a meal prep service with a buddy 3 years ago, especially with the whole keto thing these days, man. People will buy meal prep, like pharmacists will buy meal prep too, if since they're hella busy as well. So just a lot of my thoughts, and I thought that was a really interesting post. I'll actually post it in the thing here. Armor Ghost says, OG pharmacists, fill your prescription with a mortar and pestle. Dude, I haven't even seen a mortar and pestle in forever. The only time I ever see mortar and pestles are A, in the kitchen when they're grinding up spices, B, when they use them as paperweights, right? So it's just really, really interesting stuff. Some of the other things that I saw in this financial independence thing as well, and this is like the beauty of Reddit. I love Reddit because everybody's anonymous for the most part, and they will tell you like what to do. I see this a lot, so keep in mind, like I talk to a lot of people every single day. This is very popular where they're flipping motorcycles and vehicles and all that. It is a very real business, but here's the major risk with them. It's still arbitrage, right? You're still like, when you buy a high ticket item like that, you're holding your money there for a while, right? Especially when you're not very good, it's going to be a while till you actually make that money back. Whereas doing something more like, depending how you do like a meal prep business, you're probably you have a lot lower risk, as well. The train toy car idea just really shows you like niche markets really pay a lot. The more niche you are, the more you speak to your audience, the better messaging you can craft to your audience as well. So really interested. Fed loans and interest suspended 920. Yeah, I read that actually. And then I was watching let me pull his YouTube up. There's a really interesting video that Minority Mindset actually yeah, Minority Mindset. He actually had a really interesting video too about I'm just loading the video right now. Get paid to borrow money, negative interest rates. So that was really, really interesting, I thought. Where, the concept is like there's cases where you can get paid for borrowing money, and it's going to be it was a very interesting video. He was also saying right now is a really good time to refinance any of your loans or anything like that as well. So that's what they were saying too. Andrew says exactly. I remember the mortar and pestle stuff too. That was during my grandpa's time. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good with the mortar and pestle shit. But like all that, it's tough, man. The perception that pharmacy has was never really set for a professional setting to begin with, right? It's just like an uphill battle, honestly, right? Especially when you see pharmacists pouring bottles into another bottle. That's all patients see. Can you really blame them? And I'm not saying that the patient is right. They definitely aren't. There's a lot more that goes behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, people just see what you do and they don't really take consideration. And it's the environment that we set our patients in. There's very low privacy. Think about it like this. When we do a consultation, it's like very in and out. You're standing at the counter. Yeah, I just want to get the fuck out of here. That's the vibe pretty much. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? It's not very office-like, right? And so I think until we change kind of like the perception of pharmacy, nothing's going to change. But, it's probably not as profitable either. Let's see. Is that dude along? So my side hustle is in import exports, high-end commodities and such. Also Just Breathe from Minority Mindset is that dude along with Dave Ramsey. Yeah, dude, like I don't watch too much of Minority Mindset, but I do follow his topics from time to time. Seems like a very knowledgeable guy. I used to follow Dave Ramsey too, but I'm not a huge Dave Ramsey guy because he's a very anti-credit guy. I feel like credit can be used as a tool as long as it's used smart. As long as you're smart with your money as well, right? It's when people don't know how to use credit, when they spend too much on liabilities, they over leverage themselves. That's where you can get into a lot of trouble. But if you have really great credit, why wouldn't you utilize something like a 0% APR card to fund your business or something? My phone is going like crazy. Holy shit. Let me mute this shit for a second. Yeah, just muting it. To be fair, even in some other countries, the pharmacist role has even less than an impact than the US. It is true. I remember in Hong Kong, it was pretty bad there over too, man. I think pharmacists are awesome. I wanted to be one, but Chem and Calc were not my best. It's so funny. You don't even use Chem and Calc really. The only time you would use, calculus, the only time you ever use it is probably ever if you go really in depth into pharmacokinetics. That's the only time I can think where calculus comes to play. And chemistry, it's like organic chemistry. General chemistry and organic chemistry are very different, by the way. It's like, I don't know, like it's pretty different for the most part in organic chemistry and regular chemistry or organic chemistry. So and honestly, it wasn't a huge part of our curriculum. I mean, yes, we had medicinal chemistry, but it wasn't super technical. They're not trying to teach you how to work in a lab. They're teaching you how to, like, the concepts behind different medications and whatnot as well. Did you sign up for the 10K SBA grant? No, I did not. I did not look for it. Here's the thing about SBA. I heard I think you mentioned it. I was or maybe it was a Matt Tran's channel. I don't remember. Somebody sent it to me. I didn't get a chance to look at it and whatnot. But SBA is a bitch, by the way, so, from what Dan Pena told me. So didn't sign up for it. In Singapore, the community pharmacist that I saw was a little small counter. I didn't even see a phone there. What's really interesting, though, I actually spoke to one of my viewers on here. He doesn't really pop through it as much since we talk offline. But he actually had a resident, like what's that called, internship over in Singapore, and he was telling me that they do a lot more counseling over there. It's a lot more thorough. Maybe at the pharmacy he was at, but even if you want something like ibuprofen, right? They would like if you wanted something like ibuprofen, you'd have to counsel them and all that sort of stuff before giving it to them. Ask there's quantity limits and all that sort of stuff. So very interesting stuff to see how pharmacists are over there. And plus, interesting fact, I was asking my friend, I was like, huh, interesting. So are there a lot of opportunities over in somewhere like Singapore, right, for American PharmDs? And they're saying, he was telling me that one of his friends went to like an Ohio school, graduated from there, and then couldn't get a residency over here, so he went over there to become a clinical pharmacist. This was like only a few years ago, by the way. So I have heard similar stories in Korea back during my year. I don't know if they still exist, but that might be a savvy solution if you still want to go clinical and all that sort of stuff as well. All meds were prepackaged, and I'm not even sure if I saw a computer there. Wow, that's ancient then. Frick. Dude, I can't imagine back in the day, like, dude, you have to write out labels or some shit like that. Holy, I don't know. I don't even know how it worked back in the day, but Kevin, have you ever heard anyone who's called their pharmacist for assistance? Not really, to be honest with you, right? Because I think the positioning of most pharmacists too, like thinking about marketing wise too, there isn't one burning pain that we really solve, right? It's more like we're selling a vitamin. Like when you go to your doctor, you go to you go to your physician because there's a certain problem that you're having, right? A specific problem, like you're in pain, your loved one is sick, so you go there, they write a prescription and something's automatically solved. For your pharmacist, it's like, fuck. They look at it as a chore. They're like, fuck. I have to pick up my monthly medication. Why the fuck do I have to do this? Blah, 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 blah. You know, like, that's kind of like the attitude that, not everyone, obviously, but that's kind of like, they look at it as more of a chore and a maintenance type of thing. Very rarely do you get like when you ask for a consult from a pharmacist, they're often rushed a lot. It's not because the pharmacist doesn't want to help you. It's just that they're just so overwhelmed with work. And even now with this whole COVID thing, it's probably even worse now, man. So it's even more strained than before. I probably like, dude, if I was a pharmacist, I'd be hating my life right now. So I give props to all the pharmacists that are working right now too, man. I don't really go to a pharmacy, but man, I kind of want to slip like a gift card or some shit like that to a pharmacist. They probably don't want food right now because they don't know if it's COVID tainted, bro. It was a Watson's. It's a pretty common store in Singapore, but I think their volume's pretty low. You told me if you told me that they did 10 to 15 a day, I believe it. Damn, dude, I'm pretty familiar with Watson's because they have it in Hong Kong too. Hong Kong, they have the Mannings too. Those are the real two big companies from what I remember in Hong Kong, but it's been a long time. I haven't been to Hong Kong. I'm hoping after all this like chaos is done, I can go to Hong Kong, spend some time there, close some deals while I'm over there, just go from there. So what I heard was that physicians tend to dispense a common maintenance med from the office directly to the patient. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, really, the reason why we don't do it here is because one, there can be easy diversion if it's coming straight from the office, right? That's why people frown upon offices like giving too many samples away. I think they have to log who they give a sample to. Also, like safety wise too, because you're skipping checks and balances too. That's where the pharmacist really comes in by having another party, they can really do more due diligence and make sure that's appropriate prescribing. Think about it like this with this whole COVID-19. If a lot of if medications were being dispensed straight from the doctor's office, medications like Plaquenil would be long gone by now because like patients would be asking for it. They would assume that like it just by having more points of failure, I guess, or more checkpoints, then you're decreasing the risk of inappropriate prescribing and errors as well. So, yeah. Uh, Somebody was asking, "Hey Kevin, how's your mom and brother doing?" My mom is doing pretty good. I haven't really talked to my brother. I shot him a call not too long ago. He's busy though. He's all For y'all that don't know, my brother's actually a pharmacist. He followed in my footsteps, so I think he's doing okay. But who knows? I told my mom to be very careful around my brother and stuff because he's considered higher risk. I'm sure my brother knows too. I don't really need to warn him, but I told my mom just like be very careful when you go visit my brother and all that sort of stuff and his girlfriend because they're both healthcare professionals, right? She's a nurse, he's a pharmacist. So far, a couple wedding I know got canceled. Hope mine in 8 months won't. Haha. Well, I hope your wedding doesn't get canceled either. I know someone who did it was like fuck it, did it anyway. So who knows, man? One of my close friends, he had an international wedding and he had actually had to cancel it, which was kind of a bummer for him. But hey, I mean, no one knew that this shit would happen this year, man. I'm kind of curious what our world's gonna look like after this is all done. Whether like these like how things will be not only culturally because people think about it right now, like we have this social distancing type of thing right now, which is really popular, right? Is it gonna stay a social norm, being distant from people because people are scared to be around people, to meet up with a friend and whatnot? It's gonna be very interesting. Also, I wonder if there's gonna be any backlash. Like, it's sad to say, but I wonder how many more pharmacists have to get, or pharmacy staff have to get hurt, or health professionals in general have to get hurt before PPE, like before we mandate like PPE and all that sort of stuff. I was listening to Joe Rogan. He was with the guest. I forgot his name, the specialist, but he was saying the time to prepare for PPE was years ago. And I bet like once everything's more situated, we're definitely gonna have those practices in place. This shut down our whole entire economy. It put so much stress on on our healthcare system as well. So I think you know that saying, um uh the squeaky wheel gets the oil or whatever. I think that's an expression, right? So I'm really curious about kind of like the cultural repercussions about all this sort of stuff as well. I got a Plaquenil script for a physician's wife recently. Put that on hold really quick. Yeah, you gotta be real. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Like all this sort of stuff that's happening, inappropriate prescribing. They're saying HIV meds are next if they're not going already. Things like ACE and ARBs, albuterol, Z-Packs, all that sort of stuff right now is kind of like is yeah, it's just really interesting to see all the drug shortages, and it's kind of messed up, and this is why we need pharmacists to kind of put the regulations in place and to hold that. Cora Bell says, glad to hear that your family is doing well. Thanks, Cora Bell, really appreciate it. My roommate is Staff Farm. His bonus 6.1 now. Woo, awesome. RIP handshake. I doubt people will take this social distancing seriously. Look at all the younger people trying to go beaches and still partying. No one cares about social distancing. That might be true. I think my question is how much of the population is that, right? Because you're not gonna take the whole state of fucking Florida and do that as well. But I see your point. You could always Skype your wedding. Says Armagos. Skype is for noobs, man. You gotta use Zoom, bro. Zoom is the MVP for everything. But as far as social distancing, man, I'll tell you this: the things I miss doing jujitsu every day. I miss going to yoga class every day. I miss being super super active, man. Again, and yeah, sure, you can be active like with other things as well, like with being at home and shit. But it's different. It's different. There's a reason why Khabib doesn't train at home, bro. Well, maybe in Dagestan with all those killer wrestlers. But yeah, I guarantee he goes to gym, right? I miss those things, man, and I miss hanging out with people the most. I'm a very social person. I'm a very extroverted type of person as well. I can be by myself. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I've been by myself this whole time, and I've been really focusing on my projects and staying busy. But I'm actually a huge extrovert, and it drives me fucking crazy when I'm indoors all the time and stuff as well. That's why I have this treadmill. It burns shit off when I'm really, really hyper. By the way, after today, I'm actually going on a 48-hour fast. I ate my last meal just literally like an hour ago, so I think I have clock. I set my alarm. I think it's 48, 48, 48. Is it 30? Let's call it 47 hours. Yeah, let's call it 47 hours. Till I can eat again. So, gonna be drinking a shit ton of coffee and all that. I always like to do challenges like this, man. Like, it helps me stay strong too. Hi everyone. Did you all hear about the pharmacy technician that died? Was found dead in residence in La Quinta, California. They're from San Diego. Yeah, we did. I covered it earlier, but it was really, really sad, man. They were self-quarantining. I wonder which farm. It probably wasn't released which pharmacy they were. It probably wasn't released which pharmacy they were working at. But do you know how they? Does anybody know how that pharmacy technician got it? Was it through the pharmacy? Just kind of curious, man. But this person actually had no underlying health conditions, which was really concerning. Haha, Skype and Discord. The more critical question is, did my dim sum waiter catch the beer virus? Who's going to serve my chicken feet when restaurants open up again, bro? A good time to be grateful for the world before. You know, I have to say, there's... if you guys, well, maybe I can show you a quick preview of my email. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my email. I'm going to be sending an email tomorrow about like all this. I spent like 2 hours on this email too, man. Spent a lot of time writing shit. But hold on. Let me show it to you guys. Where is it? All right. This is a quick draft of everything. It's like breaking down. It's based off the Tim Ferriss. Like, one of the people I watched recently is Tim Ferriss, and I've been following his 5 Bullet Friday, except I did 6 bullets this time. But I wrote down like a lot of stuff, everything that I'm listening to and all that stuff, what I'm thinking about. I wanted to show you one part. Hold on. I think it's under what I'm thinking. Where is it? Oh my god, I think I wrote it up. Oh yeah. I read this forum. I read this forum every day to see what's happening in my friends and family. I'm torn. On one hand, I feel grateful for leaving pharmacy and creating remote income for myself. But on the other hand, it's disappointing to see large chain pharmacies profiting off pharmacy staff while failing to provide PPE or reduce exposure to pharmacy staff. Ever since I started streaming every day on my YouTube channel, it's fueled my motivation to help pharmacy staff to create other streams of revenue through remote businesses. So that's just kind of like how I'm feeling right now. Like I really want people to have options, man, because so often in pharmacy we feel trapped. We feel like 4 walls of a pharmacy. I mean, you hear it all the time. Some people are happy with their career, but you know, to have the option to leave whenever you want and to not accept like bullshit like no PPE in the pharmacy, or even if you can't do PPE, try to reduce some sort of risk. I mean, I was telling you guys yesterday, man, I went to a pharmacy the other day. Pharmacy was crowded. Like, it was like all together. I'm like, what the fuck? All the pharmacy did not have any sort of PPE. And dude, it looked like they were having a shit time, bro. Like, not gonna lie. Well, anyways, I think that's the end of the stream today. If there's no other comments, I'll stay on for like 3 more minutes. But if there's no other comments, probably going to get back to work, finish up some more work and all that as well. In terms of like content for this week, was there any specific content that you wanted me to talk about this week? Would love to do it. Just got wow. Wow. Okay. Made a lot of money this week. Woo. 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 All right, guys. I think that's it. If there's no comments, I'm going to end the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll try to think of a good topic to talk about. Not going to lie, I've been running out of a lot of topics to talk about, man. And we'll just go from there. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace.